Hello, I'm Steve Brady, Vice President of the Stone Mountain Highland Games.
And I'm Burt Temples, member of the Board of Directors for the Stone Mountain Highland Games.
We are co-chairs of the Grounds Committee. We lead a group of dedicated volunteers who provide the sweat and labor to produce what I believe is one of the finest Highland Games in the country. We hope to provide a little behind-the-scenes information to you on how the Games takes place every year.
Let me begin by explaining some basics. We are an all-volunteer games. There is no one being paid, unless you consider meals and a t-shirt a salary. The people who make these games possible do it for the love of the event, the camaraderie of the committee, their heritage, or many other reasons. What the volunteers provide can't be budgeted because, quite simply, it's priceless. Many of us take vacation from our regular jobs to come out to the field. This vacation is like no other. Many times I've told people I go back to my real job to recover from my vacation, and it's absolutely the truth.
Our work is a year-round task. We began our planning almost the day after the Games. Sometimes we are planning years in advance. A certain 50-year celebration comes to mind. From early in the year, we are discussing field changes, new vendors, clan requirements, ordering professional services, golf carts, and other rental equipment, and then planning the actual on-field work.
Finally, we get to the real fun. We call it Push Weekend. The weekend before the Games, when we have our largest crew come out and begin unloading our 3 semi-trailers full of toys. Kept at a secret location for 51 weeks a year, these trailers hold all you could ever want to put on a Games. Tents, tent frames, flags, rope, dance platforms, signs, you name it. If we don't rent it or eat it, it's probably stored here.
Over Push Weekend, we are setting up all of the venues that you see when you walk in the gate, which we're also setting up. Tents are laid out and erected. Bleachers are placed in their proper areas. Tables and chairs are distributed. Dance platforms are constructed. Most of what you see is laid out, positioned, and set up on this weekend. Along the way, we are taking stock of what items need to be repaired or replaced. We're adding a coat of paint on top of the 46 other coats that are already there, or just putting a little extra polish to make it perfect. While the trailers aren't completely empty, most of the hard work is done by the end of the weekend. Now it's just a matter of final setup for the laid out toys, waiting on suppliers to complete staging and tinting setups, and most importantly, trying to remember what we did last year.
As the week leading up to the Games progresses, we go from the heavy lifting of Push Weekend to the lighter, more detailed work, making sure all is ready come Saturday morning. Supervising a big tent setup, stage construction, directing food vendors and porta potties, building the chapel, receiving programs and other supplies, decorating stages and platforms to look their best. By Friday afternoon, it's time to call it a week, give the golf carts a last bath, and get ready to welcome everyone to the field.
During the actual Games, there are a few of us still working. We are delivering errant tables and chairs, helping musicians bring their gear to the stages, setting up and taking down chairs for Sunday morning service, and whatever else needs to be done to make SMHG an enjoyable event.
Once late Sunday afternoon rolls around, we are seen changing into our work clothes once again, as the hard job of putting our toys back in the box commences. We have gained a few volunteers Sunday evening, including a guest of honor or two, with the promise of pizza and maybe a t-shirt for their efforts. I was such a volunteer many years ago and have many t-shirts as proof. Our goals for Sunday include as much off the field as we can muster. striking tents and dance platforms, and preparing the field to receive its next occupant, who begins setup Monday morning. Depending on the weather forecast, our Sunday night can run pretty late, but we know the more work Sunday, the less work Monday.
Monday is the hardest day of all. While remembering the great times on the weekend, completing clearing the field is the order of the day. There's no anticipation of a great weekend to come, only the memories of the weekend past, but the final work still needs to be done. It is the hardiest of the games committee who can muster a smile on Monday morning and put on their gloves one more time. We dubbed these folks Super Crew years ago, and they make us proud each year with their hard work and dedication. A special t-shirt, a special lunch, and our wholehearted thanks is their reward. After our lunch and an annual photograph of the crew, we wrap up the last of the loading, find the missing chair and the forgotten sign, and lock the trailers up. A wee dram and a few words of thanks for their week-long effort, and we sadly part ways until next year.
Much like the games themselves, we have generations on the grounds committee. They joined us first as young people, full of energy and excitement at helping to put on the best games in the country. Soon their children are running around or riding on the backs of golf carts and beginning to see what their folks are into. As we have matured as a games, we realized we needed to have the younger crowd join in and participate if we are going to be successful over the long term, and I think we have done pretty well.